Merrimack TV is committed to our community.
So we're not doing the...
From gavel-to-gavel coverage of town and school board meetings, to updates on town services and projects, we aim to keep you connected.
Good morning, I'm Kyle Fox, Public Works Director for the town of Merrimack.
Hi, I'm Diane Trippett. I'm the town clerk tax collector for the town of Merrimack.
I'm Captain Matt Tarleton with the Merrimack, New Hampshire Police Department.
And keep the public informed of every motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And many moments, so you can be confident that we're here for you. Thanks for watching. Stay connected. Follow Merrimack TV on Facebook.
To the November 18th, 2020 Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting. Our next meeting will be on December 30th, 2020, again at 7 o'clock p.m. virtually via Zoom, similar to what we're doing tonight. Before we get started, I do have a script to read in. And it is, as chair of the Merrimack Zoning Board of Adjustment, due to the COVID-19 crisis and in accordance with Governor Sununu's Emergency Order Number 12, pursuant to the Executive Order 2020-04, this board is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, this is to confirm that we are A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We are utilizing the Zoom platform for this meeting. All members of this board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through the Zoom platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing either of the following phone numbers: 312-626-6799 or 929-205-6099. Our meeting ID is 943-9898-0602. The meeting may also be viewed on Merrimack TV Channel 20 if you're on Comcast, or the Merrimack TV webpage, which is merrimacktv.com. And I do believe we are also streaming on Facebook. B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of how to access the meeting using Zoom, and instructions are provided in the meeting agenda posted on the Town of Merrimack's website, which is www.merrimacknh.gov/zoning-board. C, providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. So if anybody has problems, please email cwolfe@merrimacknh.gov. D, adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at that time. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking a roll call attendance, where each member states their presence and whether there is anyone in the room with them. I guess I'll start with you, Ben.
I'm present just by myself, no one else.
Okay. And can you identify yourself?
Ben Niles.
All right, thank you, Ben. Rodney?
Rod Buckley, I'm in the room alone.
Thank you. Patrick?
Sorry about that. Didn't hit my hand on my mouse. Patrick Dwyer, and I am in the room alone.
Okay. And Lynn?
Lynn Christensen, I'm in the room by myself.
Okay. And I am Rich Conescu. I am as well in the room alone, with the exception of a couple of cats that off my desk. So before we get started, Ben, since Kathy has resigned, I would like to have you sit in her place tonight.
Sure.
All right, thank you. So now that we have that, I guess our first, I'll read in the first and only petition of the night, and then I will ask staff to comment on this.
What about the preamble?
Oh, I am so sorry. You are right, Patrick. Do you happen to have the preamble?
I happen to have a preamble.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening to those in attendance watching at home. For the benefit of those who have not previously attended a zoning board hearing, the procedure is as follows. The petitions will be heard in the order they appear on the agenda. However, the chair may change the order at their discretion. The board will treat all petitioners, their representatives, abutters, and other interested parties fairly and with respect. The petitioner will be asked to give an overview of the petition and read through their responses to the criteria applicable to the case, allowing for the board to ask questions after each item. State law and local ordinances establish the criteria that must be met in order for the board to grant approval to a petition, and it's the petitioner's responsibility to demonstrate that they have met each criteria. Following the presentation, the chair will open the floor for public comment, either in favor or opposed to the request. If necessary, an opportunity for rebuttal will be offered to the petitioner in public. However, discussion will not be allowed to devolve into a back and forth argument. All comments shall be directed toward the chair. Should a question be asked, the chair will pose the question to the petitioner. Afterward, the chair will close the public hearing and the board will deliberate and vote on the petition. At this time, please silence all mobile devices.
All right. Thank you very much, Patrick. So the first agenda item, or I guess this will be the third agenda item, the first petition, is Craig Belhumer, petitioner owner. Variance under section 3.05 of the zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a detached garage with a side setback of 8.5 feet, whereas 15 feet is required. The parcel is located at 12 Bradford Drive in the R1 Residential by Soils and Aquifer Conservation Districts and Wellhead Protection Area, tax map 6D, lot 309, case ZBA 2020-39. And so what was brought to our attention was that the staff had noted that the petitioner did not provide a plan that was prepared and stamped by a New Hampshire licensed land surveyor. So I understand there's some concerns about the accuracy. So Casey, I was wondering if you had anything you would like to add to that?
Yep. Just as you said, when we reviewed the application, we felt that it would be much better for the board to consider this application with a certified plot plan stamped by a professional land surveyor. We also question if the garage that is being proposed is outside of the structural setback for the front property line, and exactly where the property lines are as well. So we feel that the board can make a better decision with a more accurate plot plan.
I guess to kind of translate that a little bit, it sounds like should construction begin and the plan was inaccurate, then the variance is null and void.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
If we were to approve this tonight and they were to begin construction, however, the variance was inaccurate because they didn't have the original plot plan, that would essentially void the variance.
Yeah, there's no, without the professional plot plan, there's no way of knowing where the lot line actually is and how far away the structure actually is going to be from the lot line.
I see what you're saying. So it's
So this is close enough that we do feel that a stamped plot plan would be very useful.
So with that being said, if the board decides to make a motion to continue, is that something that we would do before we hear the petition?
You can make the motion after. The applicant can still make his presentation if he wants to, but you don't have to do the full public hearing tonight. You can make a motion to a date certain and finish the public hearing at that time.
Okay. So
Excuse me, can we do that prior to hearing the presentation, just for expediency?
If you wish, it might make sense to have a discussion with the applicant to get a sense of how quickly he can hire a land surveyor, so you know what planning board meeting to continue. I'm sorry, zoning board meeting to continue the application.
That makes sense.
Also keep in mind that we do require resubmittals to be submitted by our application deadline. So the time crunch is shorter than what you might imagine. I think I wrote it down. So if he wants to come back in January, he would actually need to have that plot plan ready by, by December. He would need that plot plan ready by December 15th, not the 30th, because we would need a couple weeks for staff to review.
Okay, understood. Mr. Belhumeur, if I could, can I have you just state your name for public record and your address?
My name is Craig Belhumeur, and I reside at 12 Bradford Drive in Merrimack.
Okay. And if you could raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth tonight?
I do.
All right. Thank you so much. Based on everything that was discussed, I'd like to ask you for your input. Would you like to proceed, or would you like to continue?
I would like to continue. I'd like to voice a couple of my own things, if I may.
I'm sorry, I should have been more specific. When I say continue, I mean as in have a continuance to another meeting where we can rehear this with what was asked by staff, which was the licensed land surveyor stamp.
Yep, if that's what I got to do. Just in a quick statement, I realize that my plot plan is not stamped, but that back property line has been surveyed because I had a retaining wall built on the property line. So I know that's my dead set property line. I just never had a plot plan drew up at the time because I didn't know that was even an option.
Okay.
I don't know if that matters. I'm just saying.
I will say that I would prefer that we have what the staff is asking for, and if the rest of the board feels that way, we may decide to continue this anyway. So that's why I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak, in case.
Yep.
We certainly can hear the petition, but at the same time, if the board decides to continue, you would essentially have to present again the same thing once it's continued.
Yep.
So if it makes sense, I think we should continue this. But I guess the question would be, do you know how long it would take you to provide the community development office with the plan?
I should be able to get one. What did she say? December 15th was
Yes.
that deadline?
Yes, for the December meeting.
I don't see why I couldn't get one provided by then.
Okay. With that being said, I'm going to ask the board now for comments. Do you guys think that we should make a motion for continuance?
I will make a motion for a continuance to date certain of the December 30th ZBA meeting.
We're not meeting December 30th. I'm sorry.
Casey, do we need anything added to that? No further notice to abutters, et cetera?
Yeah, exactly. Just a note that because you're continuing to a date certain, the abutters do not need to be re-notified.
Consider that part of the motion.
Sure. Okay.
I second it.
All right, so the motion is made by Lynn and seconded by Rodney. Lynn, are you in favor?
I am.
Rodney, are you in favor?
Yes, I am.
Patrick, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ben, are you in favor?
Yes.
And I as well am in favor, so that will be 5-0-0. So, Mr. Belhumeur, I guess we'll see you in a month with the plan, and we'll continue this then.
Okay, and I will just have to bring that plot plan to the department, right? I just need to bring the copy here.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll process it, review it, and distribute it to the board members. So you just need to bring it into community development. And I just want to note that that December 30th meeting is a regularly scheduled zoning board meeting. It will be via Zoom, just like it is tonight, and it will be at 7 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. So that brings us to discussion, possible action regarding other items of concern. Do we have any further discussion?
I do think it's a good idea for the board to have a discussion tonight about appointing a new vice chair member.
So my only question is this. I know we had discussed in a prior meeting the process for enabling Ben to join as a full-time member.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that we can do prior to I mean, I know that we could vote with him as an alternate, but I think it would make I would think it would be a bigger concern to have 5 full-time members appointed to the board than to figure out who's going to be vice chair.
I think that's important. I agree.
Ben, are you interested in being a full-time member?
Yes, I just sent an email this evening to the town council chair expressing my interest.
Okay.
So I hope to hear from him shortly.
Okay.
That ought to be able to be accomplished fairly quickly, and then we can have a 5-member board.
Yes, so I did speak to somebody at the town manager's office today, and apparently there is some kind of process where they put an ad up on the website advertising that there's a vacancy, and they like for that vacancy to be advertised for at least 30 days before town council will appoint a alternate member to be a full-time member. So it's a little bit of a process, but with the ZBA's timeline, it's nothing.
Has the process started?
I think just today. I was talking to her today, and she posted the vacancy.
Okay.
I can wait. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean,
30 days is prior to the end of next month, so we should be fine.
Yeah, I think we should be good. I think that should really be our focus. That's all. So tomorrow I will be at the town council meeting. I'll also mention that. Is there anything else I think worth mentioning? I did get a list of some metrics, some statistics of what we have worked on over the last year. So I got a list of who has attended, who has been absent over the last year, and I got another list of how we have voted in the year 2020. So, for example, 31 out of however many this is, 40 petitions we granted, 7 were withdrew, and 2 were denied, and anything that was continued or marked COVID-19, I just yanked out of the numbers so that we could. Yep.
They may ask you, what are the typical things that we have been dealing with in the past year? So maybe staff could help you kind of consolidate some of those requests. Are there any that are similar and common?
That is, they will ask. I've been asked that.
So if you guys are okay with this, I'll go ahead and share what I've kind of compiled.
Sure.
So this is the list that was provided to me, but I've kind of boiled it down to actual decisioning that we've made. So anything that was considered continued. So I know some of these, like I believe RCL Realty and Strife were continued multiple times, which filled up this document. So these are just decisions. So granted, denied, and withdrawn are I know the withdrawn isn't really a decision of ours, but at least it covers petitioner removing their petition. So I mean, I would say that a lot of these relate specifically to the words are escaping me here.
Frontage and setback.
Actually, I was going to say setbacks in general, whether they be frontage or side setback.
That's a lot of very, very small font that they're not going to be able to digest. I think just going through and saying typically what you just said, that a lot of what we're dealing with are exceptions for setbacks or for frontage. That's the kind of thing I think. Pat, do you agree?
You're muted.
Sorry, I keep hitting mute. No, I would agree with you. I usually get asked when I went in front of the town council, I usually got asked questions about what was the major things that we saw, what were the major cases, not major cases,
Right.
but what was the typical type of cases. So like one year, I talked about ADUs and how we saw a lot of cases about people coming in to get ADUs approved. And there were changes made actually at the state level regarding ADUs. But so you get asked those types of things.
General.
Yeah.
Global.
And that's what they're kind of looking for there. They're not looking for anything specific, like, talk about, this Herrick Street or what happened on Daniel Webster Highway. They might ask you maybe if there was any. I don't think we had any really big, like, I can't even think. I can think back to a couple of really big ZBA cases we've had in my time, but and I can't think of anything big that we had over the last year that was kind of like really, really, I don't want to say earth shattering, but on a very noted level, I guess.
And I think that's an interesting point to alert them to, that there weren't anything strange or startling or huge. It was just minor details that we deal with on a routine basis.
You might want to bring up, if you wanted to, and it was something that I brought up on my last meeting, is that we are definitely seeing a lot of, we've seen over the last 2 to 3 years, a lot of requests for building out residential apartment buildings and things to that nature. Because that is I know when I've gotten concerns and questions from people about, a lot of the building in Merrimack. So that might be, and I know that the board I've talked to the board about that in the past and some of the times that I've been up there. So that would be the only major thing I would say is a lot of the buildup of residential apartments and mixed uses and stuff like that.
Good point, Pat.
Yeah. Because that's becoming a really big concern, especially for people up on the north end of Merrimack that are on Daniel Webster Highway that have to deal with a large increase in the amount of traffic that we've seen from Gilbert's Crossing.
I got to be honest with you, though. I mean, I drive by Gilbert's Crossing constantly, multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see any traffic coming out of there.
Okay.
I mean, but that's.
I understand what you're saying. I try pulling out on.
Well,
but I mean, I don't want to get into that. That's neither.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
but if they, but
the traffic's all rush hour.
It's
only
not the
rush hour.
specific issues. It's just the fact that we're dealing with a lot more requests for more residential variances for residential as opposed to commercial.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I will say that I feel like in the last couple of years, there's been more people looking to build garages. That seems to be, I don't remember garages being such a big thing, 8 years ago when I started in the ZBA, but it seems to be like, I feel like everyone wants a garage now. I don't blame them. I'm just.
I want one. I don't want to brush the snow out of my car.
Yeah. I mean, 8 years ago it was ADUs. Every single meeting had an ADU in it, and there was always ADUs. That's actually we rarely, if ever, see that now.
Well, it's been standardized in our zoning code.
Right. Correct.
So.
I think you're good, Rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got this.
I will bring my little cheat sheet with me and I guess talk about the zoning board.
Do you know if you'll be able to pass out that sheet, that Excel sheet to the town council members, or are the COVID restrictions, would that not allow you to do that? Because it's an in-person meeting, right, with town council?
It is. I wasn't planning on doing that. I can, because this is yeah, I mean, I could do that.
I don't think you necessarily need to.
Yeah, I would agree. I think if you go over the stay at a 5,000 foot level, go
Right.
over the generals. It literally, if you're up there, you should. I don't know. It's up to you, but I was rarely up there for more than 10 minutes, and that's with questions and everything.
Okay. I won't worry too much then.
Yeah. You did this last year, didn't you?
You know, it's funny. I did not, and I don't know who would have done this last year. I don't remember any communication about this last year. Which is kind of weird because, when I was looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, why is this the first time I'm doing this?
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when you sent me that email. I was like, you've done this before, right? So.
Yeah, no, this will.
Yeah.
I really hope it wasn't a case where I received an email and I didn't see it and it wasn't brought up in a meeting and that's why.
Oh, you would have heard that was true.
Oh, yeah. To hunt you down.
So, all right. I'm not too worried about this. I guess any other discussion of items?
Motion to approve the minutes from Wednesday, October 28th, 2020 meeting.
Second.
All right, motion made by Patrick, seconded by Ben. Patrick, are you in favor?
Yes.
Ben, are you in favor?
Yes.
Lynn, are you in favor?
I'll abstain.
Abstain? Okay. Rodney, are you in favor?
I'm reading them.
Rodney, you're muted.
Yes.
You're in favor? Okay.
Yes.
And I'm in favor, so 4-0-1 with Lynn abstaining. Just one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion made by Patrick, seconded by Rodney. Is there anybody not in favor?
Night, guys.
Have a great
night.
Thanksgiving.
Good night.
See you later.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
And Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Merrimack TV is committed to our community. From gavel-to-gavel coverage of town and school board meetings to updates on town services and projects, we aim to keep you connected.
Good morning. I'm Kyle Fox, Public Works Director for the town of Merrimack.
Hi, I'm Diane Trippett. I'm the town clerk tax collector for the town of Merrimack.
I'm Captain Matt Tarleton with the Merrimack, New Hampshire Police Department.
And keep the public informed of every motion
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
and many moments, so you can be confident that we're here for you. Thanks for watching. Stay connected. Follow Merrimack TV on Facebook.